Hey everybody, it's Savage Lands News again. I took that Blitz Dynasty build to my local armory today. Absolutely crushed it. I have a feeling something in that deck is going to get banned. I one-shot, I think 2 out of my 5 or 6 games today. The rest, turn 2, turn 3 is kind of how long each game took. Um, but I was messing around today, seeing how it would function in the CC format. So I'll link this deck in the description below. I didn't like it that much, no surprises. But um, I ran into a dash using the new Mech permanent card and this insane combo with High Octane where they basically can present 30-40 damage with it. And I got obliterated. So I asked for a rematch this time playing the second game playing with my Worlds deck, and that one went much better. But I recorded both, kind of went over what I was thinking while I played it, and yeah, if you're interested, here's both those games. Let's start it. There's no sideboard. It's literally the Blitz deck I built earlier, but with 3 of every card. Put some potions in there to try and cheat those out with scab skins so we can kind of get one of those massive blood rush turns. But we'll see how this goes. Just going to open with this, put Wild Rat on the arsenal, try and get a combo piece there. Berserk needs discard cards to fire. He blocks with 2 bad blues, so okay. Put that in arsenal. Draw, and we got a blood rush. We can greed out one of these blues with our helmet, maybe. Or we can block with one. Um, I'm gonna greed. It's not a combustible, so it doesn't really matter that much. We got a wild ride. Okay. All right, let's try and get a 20 damage blood rush. The goal of this deck is to. I'm trying to hit like a 30 plus damage blood rush with this new build. We got a blue, so we're gonna have to claw and then wild ride off the blue. So 5 go again. No tunic, no potion. So this is gonna be probably just a standard Blood Rush Bellows turn. Nothing fancy about it. None of the new cards. No Savage Beatdown. So we'll do Wild Ride. Let's hope it doesn't whiff. It doesn't. These are both terrible Arsenal targets. So instead of clawing here, if this deck ran Command and Conquers, well, actually, I don't know if it does, but typically dashes don't. Well, I don't think they would run it with a Hyperdriver. I'd put this in Arsenal and let them pummel it out or CNC it out, but I'm just gonna attack with it. So 21 damage blood rush, right? Um, Not the worst. 16 plus 5. So it's above curve for what I'm used to with my blood rushes. Here's another turn we can go super greedy with, right? We're gonna roll scabs, go for the Savage Feast here. Let's see what we get. A 1. Well, 1 action point. So we're done for the rest of the game. Unless things go bad rolling scab skins, but that's brute luck, right? So I guess we'll just go for it. Oh, Savage Beatdown would have been sick, but we can pocket that. And then we can claw here. 9 damage. Took 4. It's a decent trade. He's eating it though, so the cards in his hand are good. We can go for one more claw, but I think I'm gonna value Savage Beatdown and Arsenal more. Not another double blue. Ratio is 17 blues in this deck, so it shouldn't. We're hitting a lot of blues. I mean, we can read this out. Maybe fumble a blue here. Hit that. Like, we could just play this. We could go for like a clean 6, keep a blue and a wild ride, but then we can't block with a 5-card hand and 2 hyperdrivers. So I think we force blocks. Get the skull crack, maybe. Nope, hit a reckless swing, and our turn's over. Okay. Not the best. Skull crack in our hand is fine, I guess, and now we hit no blues. So this is what happens when you draw that many blues in a row. the rest of the game, we're going to be looking at a lot of not blue. Um, okay, we could just swing big. We could swing big, pitch like a pulping or another swing big, come in for 8 clean. A lot of hybrid drivers, though. We can kind of go for a greedy play here, which I'm kind of leaning towards. This deck is much more greedy than normal Rhinar, right? So we hit it, swing big. Not enough to Savage Beatdown, which would have been sweet. Um, but we can claw 9 again. It's gonna block it. This deck's doing a lot of blocking. Way more blocking than I thought it would. So it's looking like this is definitely a combo deck of some sort. Or at least a second cycle. So sticking these next to each other is okay. We can put Alpha Rampage at the bottom and then try and swing a blue towards it. Second cycle if this deck does really like make us go that long. So we'll put that at the top second. And then now we're gonna try and stick a blue down there. Holy. Alright, well that was much faster than I thought it would be. Okay. We can force the Beast Within to be the discard for Blood Rush here. I love to do that. We can pack call here to see if it's a 6 on top. I would kind of prefer blue, so I'm maybe nervous about pack calling here. I would much rather a blue come into my hand with this Blood Rush. But Beast Within actually is going to override that. So we're going to block with this. It's a pack call. Okay. So we know it's coming. We'll hit the pack call off the Beast Within, and then we'll draw 2 on the Blood Rush. So Blood Rush, pitch. Ooh, okay, this is good. This is a savage swing. If we had another, if we had one from Tunic, this would be really, really good. But we don't. No potions either so far. Um, yeah, so we're gonna pay for that. It's gonna discard this. If we had one more blue, this would be incredible. But this will be a double intimidate, so we can claw here. This will force damage through. So hopefully he blocks. Oh, I forgot that that thing can do that. That's annoying. Savage Beatdown. 14. Not the best Blood Rush, right? That's like actually at rate 19. It's like 1 point better than average. If we had Tunic, though, if we were a little bit more setup-y here, we probably would have really pushed that over the limit. Sync that blue up there with that Alpha Rampage. I have a feeling we're not going to get the second cycle of this game. Really average hand here. No Gumbler's Gloves. This would be something I'd want to like block here, pitch this, Savage Feast, have 2 floating, hit the Skullcrack, have 3 floating, claw. It doesn't do anything. So maybe we look for an arsenal target. There's like a fair 6 here. I mean, we can't go for Gambler's Glove. This is a really greedy deck. It's kind of against the way I normally play. But we're going to see what he throws at us. What's he at? 6 health. I mean, I think our goal here is to try and get him to leak. We hit a Reckless Swing, so there's only 1 left. I only played 2 Reckless Swings, which means that there's like 5 hands left until I see it anywhere in those 5 hands. That could be a combustible. Next, but I doubt it. I think we're gonna go for greed here. Push 9, and then he'll hopefully eat the 3. Well, they were that much closer, right? Or we block. Or we block. What would I put in Arsenal? These aren't even good Arsenal targets, right? Too many cards left. It makes me uncomfortable. Sure, we'll let it hit. I have 28 health. I doubt he's going to kill me here. However, I think there's a combo that involves this, right? If you look at it, I think it involves high octane, and it doesn't have single. It's not a once a turn action. So from what I understand, you can loop this as many times as you boosted on a turn with. Oh, he did high octane. Okay, this is gonna come in for like a million. We need to block actually. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. And we have a non-block in our hand. This actually might be it. I don't know how much damage you can successfully get off with this combo. I haven't fully seen it yet. Oh, he got all the boost off. Yeah, we're gonna take, what is this, 5, 10, 15, 20 damage here? More than 20. Uh, hmm. I'm impressed on how fast that came out. It doesn't lose value. 6. Okay, we're gonna die here. Yep. Did we live? Wow, we lived. Yeah, okay. That's not good. And another non-black. It's not going our way. Oh no. Okay. I really don't want this beast within my hand. It'll kill me at this point. If this is a combustible, we're in trouble. I mean, we can always. Oh, this is non-block blue. I'm regretting the potions. I'm regretting this. I hate when my cards don't block. 4. We we are gonna die, and we can't even really force him to block either. And this is gonna come in for 6 or 5. Yeah, I think we've lost. Wow, this deck is insane. This is why you have a sideboard and put Arc Smash in, though. Arc Smash stocks have gone into the ceiling, and we lose here barely. Yep. All right, so you can see that we lost, even though we did get 2 blood rushes off, and both of those blood rushes, I would say, are above curve, right? Considering the way I normally play this game, so it it can be fast enough to actually wipe you out. He only had 6 health left. I did draw my final blood rush. That would have sealed it if it wasn't for the fact that I died there. He did keep that high octane in his arsenal. I missed the trigger, or I missed it showing up on the screen. Talishar sometimes goes a little fast when you don't have an interaction, so I figured it out a little too late. Wouldn't have made a difference. But yeah, you can see the speed that deck can push out and the damage it can push out. It's kind of like Saber's Bolton in a way, where once it hits its couple cards, it kind of takes off. So I hunted him down and asked for a rematch. This time I'm gonna play my Worlds deck, and we'll see how that goes. So we're gonna go in here pretending like we don't know what his deck is. We're just gonna put the cards I would normally play into Dash, and we're gonna see what happens here. I have a feeling it's gonna go bad because this deck is much slower than my other one. Um, so you know, this is not a great sign already. Um, yeah, we'll do that. Okay, we'll go first. See if we can get a Sidron early. I have a feeling I'm going to be too slow. But we do actually have a Arc Smash in this deck, right? So we'd see the Hyperdriver, assuming we know what's going on in the future, and we would play like we know it's there. So this is actually a terrible hand, right? This is like the worst opening hand you could have, to be honest. We're just gonna force a 2 block, put Savage Feast in Arsenal, I guess, right? So we're not doing anything here but dumping the cards we don't want to see. Sink Below, I'd normally keep this against a Dash, trying to play kind of like I don't know what it is. But I would normally keep this against a Dash and go for a Savage Feast in Arsenal. So that's what I'm going to do. And we'll see if we can adapt over time. Right, so we're going to Sink Below here. We're going to go for the greed play on Savage Feast. It's one of the highest non-Blood Rush damage turns in this deck. It is like the one cheat turn you kind of get a game. Loads the pistol. So, perfect. We're going to sink below. Did I mess up there? I missed a trigger. That's awful. But we hit it. Normally I would sink because we're desperately digging for blood rushes in this kind of game, right? We're playing a super fair game, and then we blood rush. And then super fair, and then we blood rush, right? So we got our 2 action points, so we're going to go for it. 2 floating. We're just shy of greatness here, right? That would have been like a claw into a 6. And we're also going to lose out on an arsenal target if we go for like the, smash instinct here. So we're probably going to claw and then pocket smash instinct. Got 2 T-bones. So then we claw. So 12 damage swing, which is respectable considering what this deck can really do. Getting equipment blocks early. It's interesting. Yeah. I value Smash Instinct over Pat Call for Arsenal target pretty much always. And if necessary, we can always Crown of Providence it out, right? That's an awful Blood Rush hand. Absolutely awful. It's not even worth to crown it, right? So we're probably going to look for... Yeah, this is awful. I want that one. I want him to throw a CNC. This looks like a card that would make him block, right? It's been in there for a minute. And we know he comboed us with high octane, so it's like I don't think he'd hold onto it that early, but he could. But no matter what, here we're losing value. This is one of the lowest hands I think I can get in the deck, right? Because what we'd really want to do here is Sigil, Command and Conquer, and pitch this card, but seeming as it's the Blood Rush, we do not want to do that. So we have 2 options. We can sink the Sigil away, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards. Hopefully get a yellow, and then hold the Blood Rush. I don't like that much, but I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah. Or we can... Yeah, either way, it doesn't really matter, actually. Okay, we got it. This is really not a great turn, but it's going to force blocks. Probably, right? We're not digging through our deck right now. Keeping this card in arsenal, keeping a card in hand these last 2 turns. Didn't sink on that one. I would, in person, I would never let this happen, right? I wouldn't have made those mistakes. You really want to be digging for your next Blood Rush, even though we hit it early, Worst case scenario is we pull another Blood Rush. We clogged our hand up with all these sinks. And no blue again. Man, literally worst case scenario, right? We're on a time bomb. It's like a part of me wants to greed out that card. But with how many non-blocks and reds we put in our deck, it's like super dangerous. Yeah. We could greed out that card. The problem is this Blood Rush is actually gumming us up so bad. We need to get it out. We have to get it out. Blue? Nope. Alright, we're still fucked. Super greedy, didn't pay off. At least this will stop his banishing. It's another force block. But this is going about as poor as it could go, I would say. I would be really nervous at a table. There's only so long you can hold a Blood Rush like this. It really messes up the rotation of digging through your deck faster than your opponent. It really messes it up. And this isn't... it doesn't seem to be as big on boosting, but Erase Face is one of those cards that really shuts that match down. In my normal dash sideboard, I do carry one Arc Smash, right? That Arc Smash is probably going to be what either wins or loses us the game here. Another block, we slowed him down. We're hoping for a blue. We get the blue, Beast Within. We can force the Beast Within discard, which is probably what we're going to do. This doesn't get buffed by Blood Rush, so I'd rather just keep drawing. I do run a lot of non-sixes in the deck. At Worlds, I took 7 damage on turn 2 from a Beast Within, so it's super possible that that happens again. And we can hit our Arc Smash, which in this matchup now I'm much more nervous about than I thought I would be. He's kept that card in Arsenal, though. Command and Conquering does seem good, but I think we're just going to go for the damage. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, see what we get. Ooh, instant swing big. That is best case scenario. And no blues, though. Super good. Absolute floor of a Blood Rush again. This game is not going well. It's not going well at all. Not going well at all. We're gonna be stuck with this in Arsenal for a while. He's not presenting enough damage for us to like really just keep a blue and play this, which is obnoxious. In Claw. In Claw twice. We could just straight pitch 2, get that out of Arsenal. We'll be 2 damage short of what it would be with this swing big. But at least we'd get to keep a swing big in Arsenal, and that's like at least worth something. But then we'll not have our Tunic for next turn. I don't think it's going to matter much unless it's another Blood Rush. I'm going to say we go for that. I don't like to do this. I would rather squeeze that 2 damage out. You can see that it's not going very well, but he only has 1 hyperdriver so far. So we are definitely on a timer here. And we need to start digging through our deck, right, to find that Arc Smash. Like that seems to be the win con. So we need to empty our hand, cycle this into Arsenal, draw 4. We need to start really cycling our hand much more effectively than we've been doing so far. Then an Arsenal Sigil. Going to be a straight 6 trade, hopefully. And then I'll Sigil, gain some life. We lost one of our Sigils early. Don't love it, but it is what it is. Zipper hit 5. So we'll block 3. Then we'll gain 1 life on this trade. Gain a life, swing 6. It's not terrible. So straight 6 damage. Then we'll just Sigil because it doesn't matter. 37. We're going pretty slow, but he seems to be going slower this game too. I don't know the consistency of getting that hyperdriver off. I really have no idea. And he's going to summon on 1. Okay. We do have swing big Blood Rush, possibility of firing Beast Within. We're going to go for it. We hit a blue and a red. Okay. This might leak more damage just because of the nature here. So we might actually be able to get this free before barraging off. I don't hate it when that happens. Sometimes you'd much rather see those like more aggressive cards. But we have Swing Big in Arsenal. That's why we put these kind of cards in Arsenal, right? Rhinar revolves around your most important 2-cost attacks, sometimes 3-cost attacks being in your arsenal. So it worked out. So we're going to Claw. We hope he blocks. Well, actually, it doesn't matter if he blocks. So this swing big is going to come in for 14. Probably -3. Or a full 14, depending. Which is acceptable. But this will be our second Blood Rush, and we haven't presented very much damage. It's a blocking deck. Part of the mix-up of Dash is that you never really know if they're going to be turtle or aggro, and it makes sideboarding into it very difficult. So here's the full 14 damage swing big. So there's a 24 damage Blood Rush. Peak, I would say, of what we can really do with this version without Scab Skins and like a Savage Feast. So we're going to split those 2 blues up. I'm going to put this in Arsenal. We're going to swing this. And I'm going to block with one of these cards. Again, we're digging through our deck as fast as we can. I'd rather lose this card than wreck a erase face. We're going to put this in Arsenal. Heal up. Hope that we have something that can have, importance. There's our Arc Smash. Okay, triple hyperdriver, right? Yep. Okay, so this is our win con. So we're gonna scab skins 4. No, we're gonna pitch the reckless, draw 2 cards. Doesn't look like we're doing very much, but we are healing, right? So we're gaining life, 42 to 17, 45 to 17. This has got to be a high octane, right? Oh, I messed up. I would like to undo that. Sorry, guy. I didn't realize that 2 floating. I need to dump my hand. Make him block weirdly. 1 Blood Rush can get through 17, I think. And if this deck really revolves around this hyperdriver situation, then we should have it in the bag. Maybe throwing that out. It's kind of dumb, right? We would like to close the game. Let's see. We can, with an Alpha Rampage probably if it gets to that point. So he's blocking. This is an important card. We know it's an important card. So we're going to put this in Arsenal. 3rd Blood Rush. If it's the mech card, we still have Gambler's Gloves. I don't actually know the interaction fully yet. Like how much we have to roll to destroy it. If it's just like a 2, then that's kind of crazy, right? This Blood Rush isn't the worst. Not my favorite Blood Rush. Part of me wants to be more greedy with it. Or not less greedy with it, like even kind of like get rid of it, wait until this is out of our arsenal. The other part of me wants to put pressure to make him block. 28 cards left. If we can like 5 to 10, it's unlikely. Okay, let's see what happens. Playing a Blood Rush without not knowing what this deck does makes it harder because I normally revolve every, my Blood Rushes have to be perfect, right? So this is kind of, we leave, that's not great. No blue. We're gonna, not a great Blood Rush, right? As I said, we should have waited. Kind of dumb of us to do this. Pretty dumb of us to do that. This one, Tim won. Coming for 8. That sucks. We keep this, but I don't want to keep this. So we're gonna dump it. 8. 5 damage. So we got him to 10. So we know what our win con is, right? It is an Alpha Rampage. And here comes the big blue. I actually don't know what happens here. Like, what do I have to roll an Arc Smash to destroy that? That's a good question. Okay, we just had to roll nothing. Super cool. All right, that was the game. So, okay, I was really worried about this dash deck. I don't know what you can do on other heroes. I guess there's that item that you can play from, or the card you can play from Arsenal that'll kill it. So maybe that's going to become a mainstay. It was much slower this turn, but that was turn 11. So against like a Phi or another more aggressive aggro deck like Rune Blade, I don't know if you really have that long. But in the game we saw originally, it came out really fast, and it did a lot of damage, right? But it looks like we can play around it. So very interesting. Glad I got to get that second game against him. That was really cool.